Hello, and welcome to today's session on understanding strategies for differentiated instruction. Differentiated instruction and learning has been considered in classroom planning since early 2000. Researchers have characterized differentiated instruction as an attempt to address variations among learners in the classroom through multiple approaches that modify instruction and curriculum to match the individual needs of the students. Carol Ann Tomlinson, a leader in the area of differentiated learning, states that differentiated learning means considering learning styles and readiness before developing a lesson plan. Forest Lake Elementary School in Columbia, South Carolina, is one such place where adjustments have been made to the curriculum and classroom planning. The teacher's plans provide different tasks for individual needs. These plans will cover different approaches to what students need to learn, content, how they learn, process, and what has been learned, product. This is so that each learner can demonstrate their learning as efficiently as possible in a way which best expresses their potential. For many teachers, differentiated instruction requires major changes and flexibility in their education programs and lesson planning. Since there is no single definition of a regular class, the model acknowledges that students are individual and unique and that one size does not fit all. Cappy Cannon, the principal of the school, and her teachers work hard to recognize that the starting point of differentiated instruction takes into consideration where the learner is at and does not cover what they already know. This is supported by Knowles, 2009, who believes that it is vital to extend students' knowledge. In order to personalize learning, teachers need to know their students very well and make the teaching model student-centered. This can be done by preparing appropriate activities to suit diverse learner needs and interests, in addition to understanding the difference in their learning styles, kinesthetic, auditory, visual learners, and personalities. Self-aware students can do their classwork in a way which is comfortable to them, yet express their understanding in different ways. Since they have been guided to be self-directed, they can work at different task stations while teachers walk around and support those who may need attention. Some kind of formative assessments, albeit paper-based or computerized, are required throughout a course, and teachers need to use the data to reflect on and inform their teaching practice. Indeed, knowing the learners frequently requires informal assessment and the development of student profiles. At Forest Lake Elementary School, students are evaluated at the beginning of the year and throughout the course. The assessments are carried out to test maths, reading, and writing skills. The results are then used to see how far students have grown in terms of what they did not know at the beginning or could not do well. In this way, teachers are able to differentiate learners based on their skills and competencies, their readiness levels, and their interest levels. And by gaining insight into how their students learn, they can find more instructional strategies regarding materials, output tasks or curriculum, and time constraints to ensure their learners' needs are met. The school also organizes staff development training where teachers can collaboratively discuss ways to improve their unit learning and provide multi-strategies for differentiated learning in the classroom, such as the use of technology, student response systems, and whiteboards to maximize academic achievement. As Dolce and Davidson, 2012 acknowledge, in an ideal differentiated class, the students should lead the activity, say what goals they have for themselves, what they have learned, and ask the teacher only for suggestions. The teacher should help establish a sense of collaboration, ensure clarity about what has been learned, and help make students accountable for their own learning. Another approach where learners are given greater ownership of performance is the idea of student-led conferences. Contrary to common practice, they are not parent-teacher meetings, which discuss student progress and learning, but conferences that learners have with their parents, but with the teachers present, in order to explain how they are progressing at school. These conferences can create opportunities for students to reflect on, engage, and take ownership over their own learning. They can even provide evidence of their learning through the use of student portfolios, which provide a range of resources to discuss their strengths and areas to work on. Students can also decide what to place in their binders as students and teachers combine a collection of classroom assignments. At the Wildwood IB World Magnet School in Chicago, Illinois, students talk to their parents regarding their goals and what they are learning. As a learner, they discuss what is important to them, thus building a sense of relevance and connection to each other, their peers, their teachers, and the wider community. Students are at the center of conference and facilitate feedback, and in doing so, feel a sense of achievement and confidence. They are able to explain to their parents who they are, what level of understanding they are at, and what they would like to achieve. Reflection is of great importance and is part of the school culture. As a result, students get the opportunity to express what they have learned about themselves, thereby taking responsibility and ownership for their learning. They have also been able to set goals for themselves and understand the process involved in self-assessment. Moreover, these student-led conferences have also allowed parents to gain a richer, non-biased understanding of their children's own progress and basically see them in a different light. Let us now move on to using teacher input as a means to provide best practice for all students. It is not uncommon for teachers to share their learners' work with their colleagues in order to inform teaching practice and provide support for all students. By analyzing their work together and getting feedback from a planning team, teachers can then scaffold their instruction in order to meet their students' needs. Instructors at the Two Rivers Public Charter School in Washington, D.C. are happy to collaborate and review students' work together as they feel the practice gives them the chance to deliberate on what their students are doing and what they have achieved in their understanding of the content. Teachers ought to choose work that the learners have not yet mastered in order to understand how to best support the students. A particular work protocol is followed when reviewing. Teachers read the task to their colleagues to see if the rubrics can be understood. This generally takes a minute. Then there is a silent observation where colleagues ask themselves a series of questions regarding the work chosen for examination. After that comes the notice and wonders phase. Here, fellow teachers talk about their observations and make comments on how students' knowledge is assessed. The aim is to find any kind of similarities between student responses. Next comes the analysis and judgment phase. This lasts between 5 and 10 minutes, and teachers evaluate students' work and provide solutions for improvement. After that stage of the review process, the open discussion and suggestions phase. A great deal of discussion is focused on identifying problems and brainstorming solutions. The last part is the debriefing stage. Each teacher can make a final comment and reflect on a takeaway regarding the session. Post-session, teachers can then work on best practices for their learners by grouping their students together and doing differentiated, small group instruction. Teaching can therefore be scaffolded appropriately to support diverse learners' performance. And that brings us to the end of today's session on understanding strategies for implementing differentiated instruction. If you would like to explore more on any of the topics discussed, click on the links provided at the end of this unit. As always, remember to observe what is happening in your classes and be a reflective practitioner.